Hello, and welcome to the I've Seen Everything Reaction Wrap-Up podcast. Here is where I share my thoughts, reactions, and review for my latest reaction videos. To find these full reaction videos, please search for @SeenEverything over on YouTube, or check the description of this podcast for more information. Also, please remember to rate and comment on this episode, and follow the podcast so you can see when I'm putting out new wrap-ups. And now, on to my latest wrap-up for Evil Dead Rise. Alright, so a little bit of continuity issue there, probably. I mean, she seemed pretty freaked out at the end. We have to believe that this person, whoever this girl was, this woman was, at the end, who we started with, who we know eventually becomes possessed, that she had to pick up her friends, or at least her friend she was talking to, and get out to the lake and appear normal enough to everybody they were going about their business before she then kind of woke up possessed and everything happened. I don't know if I buy that, but this is an Evil Dead movie. You're not supposed to take it apart in too much detail. It's supposed to be scary. It's supposed to be gruesome. It's supposed to be fun if you're someone who enjoys horror movies, as I am. And it checked all those boxes. It was horrific. I've started to do something as I've gotten older, and people who have watched horror movies with me out here on this channel have seen it more and more. It's surprising to me that I've started to do this, because I've watched horror movies for a very long time. I find myself starting to pull for who's going to survive. It's okay, these people can get out. This is going to be okay. Oh, another one died. All right, well, these three people can get out. It's like you're watching a horror movie. Who's going to survive isn't necessary. Well, I mean, I guess who's going to survive is the kind of tension of the story. It is the point in that regard. But you have to be prepared for that a lot of people are going to die. It wasn't just going to be the mom. It also wasn't just going to be the mom and all the people that gruesomely died in the hallway. It was going to be, like, from the beginning, it was going to be pretty much everybody. I mean, everybody could have died. They literally could have had everyone die. But at the very least, I think all of these movies to this point have ended with just one final person, maybe two final people. I can't remember at the end of Evil Dead 2. I know the end of Evil Dead 2 leads into Army of Darkness, and it's this, weird kind of time travel thing that happens all of a sudden. I can't remember if the woman in Evil Dead 2, the one that was supposed to be the daughter of the guy on the recording, I can't remember if she survived. I don't think she did. If she did, I don't know what happened to her. Yeah, the Evil Dead franchise overall, it's fun. It's fun for horror movie fans, but it has gone some interesting directions. All of the movies are essentially very different from each other. I will say tonally that as far as being similar to each other, I'd say the most similar in the entire franchise are this one and the reboot that they did. I think the reboot was from 2013. So if that's the case, it had been a decade. Yeah, 2013. So and this is Lee Cronin who did this one. It had already been 10 years since we'd had an Evil Dead movie when this one came out. And now they're having this trilogy. They're having one come out this year, and they're having another one come out in 2028. I don't know if they're doing any more beyond that. But I would say that one of the things that was the most off-putting to me about the reboot, or the 2013 Evil Dead, is it felt like we started in a place that was looking to be a little bit more of a traumatic horror movie, which is odd to say about an Evil Dead thing, but like emotionally traumatic kind of, I don't know. It just was a feel to it that I got that I wasn't thrilled about. But maybe I need to give it another shot. Maybe I need to come into it with a clear mind, because if you come into it with the fandom of the previous Evil Dead movies, you're kind of all over the place. The first Evil Dead is a very low budget but memorable, because it's very gruesome kind of movie from the early 80s. The second one, they have more money. Obviously, it's kind of odd because they spend the first 20 minutes recapping the same story as the first movie. But then it has a feel of the first movie, but it's this kind of very trippy direction they go with it. Like an acid trip of a movie almost. And then we go into Army of Darkness, which is just kind of the definition of a campy horror movie. More like horror, comedy, action kind of thing. The show was kind of the perfect blend of all three of those. And now we're going back into a modern trilogy, and we're kind of going more straight horror, but keeping the gruesome nature that has been a hallmark of Evil Dead forever, and making them really scary. I mean, I think they did a good job of making the movie scary. One of the most scary things about it is, in a lot of these things, you have some prescribed way to defeat the enemy that you're fighting, to defeat the evil you're fighting. Vampires, you can, like some of the older things, you can stake them through the heart, or at the very least, you can wait till sunrise. You can do all these kinds of things. Zombies, there's different ways to stop zombies. But with this, there's not really a way to stop it once this evil is released. I mean, there's a way to stop the actual Deadites that were following her in this movie, that were the antagonists of this movie, the innocent people that were taken over. But obviously, she destroyed all of them. And this evil force was still there and took over this other woman and led us into the scene that we started the movie on. So it's out there. It's loose now. And obviously, it's not going to stop. You get the feeling that that's going to be the kind of guiding force of the movies that come after, is the evil just bouncing around to different people. Maybe they don't even need the Necronomicon anymore. But yeah, Danny, I hate to blame a kid and tell him something like that it's all his fault, but it's pretty much his fault. I mean, to be fair, even if he had left it alone, somebody probably would have come along and found it. But somebody else would have wandered down there and done something they shouldn't do. But can't have horror movies like this without some stupid decisions to start. And the stupid decision in these is always to read the Necronomicon or play the recording of someone reading the Necronomicon. Though they didn't call it that in here. I forget exactly the name they used for it, but Naturam Demonto, I think he called it. But anyway, I enjoyed this installment of the Evil Dead franchise. I'm enjoying the direction of these new movies. So I'm looking forward to seeing where they go next. And at least now, as of this moment, as of this recording, I am caught up. As soon as Evil Dead Burn comes out, I will no longer be caught up until I have a chance to watch that. But now that we've watched this one out here, we will be ready to watch Evil Dead Burn out here at some point as well. So I appreciate you being here to watch this one with me, and I will see you on the next video. Take care. Thanks so much for listening to the I've Seen Everything reaction wrap-up. Again, to find these full reaction videos, please search for @SeenEverything over on YouTube or check the description of this podcast for more information. Also, please remember to rate and comment on this episode and follow the podcast so you can see when I'm putting out new wrap-ups. Thanks for stopping by, and I'll meet you here for the next episode.